Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. This is May 27th through 28th, Invictus Launch Week, and the manufacturer that is in the expo taking center stage is Anvil. I really like Anvil. Anvil is, I don't know how, to me they're almost like the underdog manufacturer when it comes to the military hardware, race for military contracts. Aegis was always the big boy at the table. The Messers favored them, and when the Messers left, then it left a little room for other companies to come in. Anvil was one of those companies that did, and they make tankier ships, usually. They do have some soft, I guess, fighters out there, but they come up with some tankier stuff for what's preferred for the military's actions. So let's kind of go into what Anvil makes here. As you can see, the upgrade right now, the Warbond upgrade, is the Anvil Gladiator. This is a short-range torpedo bomber. They come with size 5 torpedoes. I'm not real confident in the size 5s against capital ships. I don't know. They're going to have to figure out a balance there. This thing's decent in a fight as well, but it does take 2 people to fly it, one for the turret up top and one to actually pilot the ship. Whenever you can slave that turret forward up top, it'll become an even bigger threat in certain situations when you can solo fly this thing. But for now, you really need 2, and the design's a bit dated, so hopefully they will go back and update the design a little bit in the future. Of course, you could say that about a lot of the Anvil's early stuff, especially the Hornet series. It's been touched up once before, but I imagine it'll probably get one more touch up before it's all said and done. The Gladiator definitely needs more love. And the size 5 torpedoes, we really need some more clarification on what you're expected to be able to do with those. I mean, they're not really made for the big capital ships like Idris's and Javelins, as far as I can tell. You really want size 9s going against those or bigger. So they're probably geared more towards your 600i or Starfarer, those size ships. But anyways, this is a short-range bomber. It can be fun to fly. You don't see a lot of them in the verse right now because they're just not that useful. The Anvil C8X Pisces Expedition. Everybody should have a Pisces. If you have a fleet, you want a Pisces. This is a great little ship. It can get you from point A to point B. And fairly quickly. It's got a decent jump drive on it, decent quantum drive, 4 little bitty guns, only size 1s. It's got a little bit of cargo space and room for 3 people in it. It's a fun little ship. It's very utilitarian. I plan on using this thing a lot if I'm in my Carrack to explore, leave the Carrack in orbit, go down and explore planets and different sites in a system in this Pisces, then come back and report it all back to the Carrack. That's how I plan on using it. $45. Anvil Aero, $75. This is one of the premier light fighters in the game. It's a stealth fighter, which that mechanic's not completely in the game yet, but it can be pretty devastating in the right hands. The meta right now is light fighters, at least for a little while. They're going to change that. We'll see how the big boys perform later on. Anvil Hawk. This is a great little bounty hunter ship. It has just as many guns really as the Arrow, but they run with a little bit more distortion built into it. It's not as maneuverable as the Arrow, but it can be an interesting ship. Not necessarily my favorite, but I know a lot of people do like their Hawks. Then we get into the medium fighters. The F-7C Hornet is a medium civilian version of the military F-7A. So it doesn't have near the armor capabilities as the military variant, but it still has pretty decent armor and it can pack a punch. So definitely a good little medium fighter. These things are going to be kind of tanky. Again, not as good as the military counterpart, but still pretty strong. F-7CS is the Hornet Ghost. It is a stealth Hornet. So it's got stealth components, and it does work pretty well in the game right now in that capacity. I like my Ghost, my Hornet Ghost. It's a good ship. Then you have the Hornet Tracker. This thing's phenomenal at picking up radar signatures from a distance. and that's how it'll be used in the game. It's kind of like a mini AWACS. You'll be able to pick up things from long range with this ship. You'll definitely want to have these to escort your, larger ships, maybe even an Idris. Maybe have this working off the Idris to, find anything that's threatening your capital ship. The F7C Hornet Wildfire. So this is a Hornet, a regular Hornet, with the turret up top of a Super Hornet. So you kind of get the benefits of both with this little ship. It's a solo ship, whereas the Super Hornet, as you see here, the F7CM, is a two-person ship, and the Hornet Wildfire is a one-person ship. Not much difference between the two other than that. Well, I say that. This has the canard turret underneath the nose of the ship, and it's capable of housing two size 1. So you get a little bit more firepower if you want it from the Super Hornet. Now you can exchange that for a size 3, and then you're kind of back to where the Hornet Wildfire is. But yeah, it's capable of putting out a little bit more DPS downrange for you. I like a Super Hornet. I prefer my Super Hornet over the regular Hornet all day long, just a preference. There is another variety of the Super Hornet that's only available during Valentine's Day, and that's the Heartseeker. Comes with a full fixed loadout. That one's pretty good too. Then we go into the Anvil Ballista. This is a ground-based vehicle that has torpedoes on it, size 5 and size 8. It's a two-person vehicle. The driver can control the driving, obviously, and this turret up top that has some nasty Gatling guns on it. And then the missile operator in the back can control the missiles. This thing should be pretty devastating against anybody coming in, at your ground installations or your ground emplacements. Really good ship or vehicle, $140. Not for everybody, but it's a pretty interesting little ground vehicle. Of course, the Gladiator at $165. Anvil Hurricane. This is a heavy fighter. It's decent maneuverability. 2 size 4s around the nose here that the pilot controls. 4 size 3s on the turret up top that you have a co-pilot, or I guess a turret gunner, to operate. So it does have some weaknesses. It's not super armored rather. So you not always firing at the same target. Your turret may be shooting to the back while you've got the size 4s shooting up front. So there can be some weaknesses to this thing. It's kind of a glass cannon in a way, and that's the way it was designed. But let me tell you, a couple of Hurricanes will just shred enemies in quick order, like shred their ships very quickly. So they can be pretty nasty on the battlefield if used correctly. Then you have the Anvil Terrapin, which is another scanning ship. This one is designed to kind of go out in front of the fleet or into another system and kind of get the lay of the land before the fleet comes in. I don't know exactly what the stealth capabilities of the ship is going to be, but you would think it would have to be pretty high. I don't recall them actually ever mentioning the stealth capability of it. I call it the Turtle because it's supposed to be, in defense mode, it's supposed to be fully armored, like armor plates are supposed to go over all these sections and stuff. Cool ship, the way it looks. Flies pretty decent. It's not meant for combat at all. It's just meant to scan, which is not something that's really in the game right now. It's more or less meant for one person, but 2 could actually be on this. It's got a pilot seat and a scanning seat behind it. It's meant to park and scan. But I guess if you have 2 people, you can probably do both at the same time. That's at $220. Anvil Valkyrie, $375. I love this drop ship, and that's what it is. It's a drop ship. It's got a crew of, I think, 4, maybe 5. You got a pilot that can control guns underneath the nose, and then you have 2 door gunners. You have 2 remote guns, I believe. So yeah, you need at least 4 people, maybe 5, to control this thing. But the really great thing about this ship is the 20 drop seats for your Marines. So you have 10 on each side, and yeah, you could drop in a whole group, a whole squad of ground forces, plus a vehicle, because it's got a bay big enough for a rover, like an Ursa rover. Yeah, you could have a lot of fun with this ship in the future, and I really like mine. It's underutilized, but it's a great ship. $375 for that one. Then you have the big boy of exploration, the end-all be-all of exploration, the Anvil Carrack. This ship is designed for long-range exploration, so you're going to be out for months at a time in this ship exploring the verse. It too has armor plates that go over the front canopy here whenever you have to defend it. It's got turrets on the sides and on the top and the bottom. The ones on the sides are manned. The ones on the top and the bottom are remote turrets. I believe they're all size 3 guns on those. I could be mistaken. I can't remember right offhand. It's been a while since I actually manned a turret in the Anvil Carrack, but hey, it's got a rover bay in the mouth here, and then it's also got a hangar for that Pisces. So you definitely want to get a Pisces to go with your Carrack so that you can use it in conjunction. Really, really cool ship. It also has a med bay in it. It's got a lot of room for cargo as well, which I believe the cargo area is supposed to be modular. This is a really, really great ship for a small group of people to use. If you got a small crew, a small group that you plan on going out and staying out for a long time, this is the ship you want. Phenomenal little ship for that. I love the Carrack. Then we have the Anvil Crucible. To me, this is the almost must buy if you're trying to upgrade into something later at a later date. So yeah, Anvil Crucible, this is a repair ship. It's designed to repair small ships in a little bay that would actually extend this direction, I believe. Maybe it's on the other side. And this bridge rotates around to the opposite side, and it can repair the bigger ships. So you definitely want these in a org's fleet. These things are going to be able to be, they're useful for all repairs, small ships, big ships, everything in between. And at $350, I can only imagine when this thing actually comes out, it's probably going to go up to $550 or at least $500, I would guess, because it's going to be such a useful ship. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, generally they don't go up that much unless you're a Banu Merchantman or the Carrack, but I really feel like this thing's going to go up. So if you're trying to procure a ship that pays off later on down the road, it might be this one. So something to keep in mind. And then if you've got Chairman's Club status, which is concierge, you can get the Anvil Aerospace complete pack, which gives you all the Anvil ships on War Bond or 4-store credit. So you can trade in that Javelin and get this complete pack, right? Who's going to do that, right? Then you also have the paint jobs. You get the usual ones for this Invictus Launch Week. I guess this is the Timberline, the Blue and Gold, and the Frostbite. You got that for the Hawk. You got it for the Hornet, which will also work for the Super Hornet. And then you also have it for the Arrow. Well, they're a little different for the Arrow. These are some that they had at a different point in our history that they brought back out for you. And then the Valkyrie also has a few different paint jobs as well, which that's cool camo. And then, of course, you have your Anvil Gear Pack and your Celebration Gear Pack. Let's go ahead and check out the Expo floor where we can take a look at a lot of these ships. Here we go to the Expo Hall on New Babbage, on Microtech, the Tobin Expo Hall with Anvil Day. And you can see that massive Carrack right there in the front, just looming over the entire Expo Hall. Of course, it's not as wide as something like the C2 or M2 or A2 that we saw yesterday or the day before yesterday, but it's still a pretty large ship at about 125 meters long. It doesn't look it from here, but once we get up next to it, you'll see how big the thing is. Over here, you have the Anvil Arrow to our left. We're just going to kind of skip past that one right now. We're going to go downstairs. This is usually where the holographic room is, but they don't have any holograms here today because, well, the Crucible hasn't been made into a hologram yet. Nothing to see here, right? That's the only ship that Anvil has that's in the works that could be possibly a hologram. Or is it? We got a little notification not long ago today saying that Anvil is in talks with a shipyard that is notorious for pumping out capital ships. So could we see an Anvil capital ship coming down the pipe? By the way, this is the Ballista. You actually get to see this up close and personal here with the massive torpedoes on top of it. and the big guns on that turret there. But yeah, it sounds like we may end up getting an Anvil capital ship, and it sounds like we may find out about it by the end of the year. They are definitely working on a number of unannounced ships or projects, and we think that that might be one. What's it going to be for Anvil? Do you think it's going to be an Anvil Corvette, kind of like the Polaris? Or maybe it's an Anvil frigate like the Idris? Or maybe it's more like a Kraken as a carrier. Though I would think it would be with an internal carrier space, more like the Bengal would, or the Pegasus. But yeah, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a destroyer? I don't know. I think it's going to be armored and maybe even have a lot of guns. I don't know what route they're going to go with this. I'm interested to know what you guys think. What do you think an Anvil capital ship would look like? Now, somebody did bring up a great point in the Legatus Discord earlier today, and if you're not a if you're a Legatus and you're not in that Discord, let me know and we'll see if we can't get you an invite. But yeah, they said, well, Anvil makes a lot of ships that are carrier based, and that is very true. So it sounds like we may get an actual carrier, but how's that going to compare with the Kraken? I know they like to do a lot of ships that don't necessarily overlap as far as utility, but let's look at this more pragmatic or more realistic. They have a lot of fighters in the game, so why not another carrier? I don't know. If the Anvil comes out with a capital ship, are you going to want it? Do you want more information before you decide you do? Or are you going to just say, here's my money, give me the Anvil capital ship? I am looking forward to this. I can't wait to see what they come up with. As you get a much closer look at this Carrack, which, like I said, is a massive ship. It really is at 120 meters long, 125 meters long. But yeah, I can't wait to find out what Anvil comes up with down the pipe. I've been waiting for an Anvil capital ship for a very long time. You know, I talked a little bit about Crusader having a carrier in lore that we probably won't get, but, you know, they talked about it. What's a Crusader carrier look like? I mean, you could ask that about a lot of the manufacturers in the game right now. I mean, Kruger, what if they came out with a capital ship? What would it look like? If there's another manufacturer out there that comes up with a capital ship, what manufacturer would you like to see do it? And what kind of ship would you like to see? Let me know in the comments down below, because that's a really cool topic of discussion. I would like to actually do a whole video on that maybe. So let me know what you guys think down below. Here is the Anvil Terrapin. As you can see, it's a nice little small compact ship. Like I said, I call it the tortoise because it kind of looks like a turtle when it's flying. The gears up, you know, and when that armor goes over the top of it, it's going to kind of turtle up because that's its only defense. It's not going to win combat ever. It's just going to be heavily defended, and hopefully you can get out of there, or at least get to where somebody can bring in some help before they bring you down. Here is that F8 Lightning. This thing has been here every day. It's on loan from the 999 Squadron, the Reckless Squadron. I love the red paint on it. You're going to see this thing a little more up close and personal in a like silver or gunmetal, I don't know what color you want to call it, without the paint on it. It has 8 guns on it. And I can't figure out if they're all size 3s or if a couple of them are size 2s. A couple of them look like size 2s out near the wingtips. It's really going to be devastating. I can't wait to get my hands on my F8 civilian version. This is probably the military version, which means it's a little more armored up. But yeah, this is a ship that I am looking forward to, and I know a lot of people are. If you complete Squadron 42, you're supposed to be able to unlock a token to buy one of these. Question is, are you going to have a reputation with Anvil or with the UEE Navy to be able to get your hands on it? Or if it's just going to become available to those who have tokens? I don't know. That's another thing they'll have to answer down the road. Here I was counting, you know, how many guns. You can see that was a size 3, and that looks like a size 2 out further on the wing. So I don't know what size all the guns are going to be, or the hard points. It kind of looks like it's going to have at least 4 size 3s and 4 size 2s maybe. Or maybe it's going to be, maybe these up front are size 4s. They really look like size 3s to me. So probably 6 size 3s and 2 size 2s. I don't know. The next one here is the Anvil Hurricane. We kind of went over that a little bit while we were talking about pricing. You got those 2 big old size 4s at the nodes and then all the size 3s on the turret. It's a fun little ship, it really is. And honestly, this is the one I want to carry in my 890 jump, usually, because it fits perfectly in the 890 jump hangar. You can't say that about a lot of ships, but yeah, it fits absolutely perfect in that 890 jump. So if you need something that'll help defend that little, you know, cruise ship that you have, that yacht, then the Hurricane is a great choice. And you can see the Valkyrie right here. This is one of my favorite ships. It's got the VTOL thrusters. Those thrusters will rotate downward. It's got the door guns. It's got, man, this thing is just cool. It's cool. It always reminds me of the ship from Aliens, the little drop ship that they use to go down to the planet. That's what it reminds me of. And now we have the Hornet here. This is the F7C. So you can kind of see its layout. And then next to it, I believe, is the F7A. I have to get another look at it. Yeah, that's the military version of the Hornet, the F7A. So it's more armored. It's got the canard turret underneath. It's got the turret on top. It's like a Super Hornet with probably a little more armor. That's most likely the way to put it. And it doesn't have the second seat. So really awesome ship. I really hope that we can actually get these in game. They did sell an F7A upgrade kit one day, one chance to get it, and I think they said it's just going to change the way the ship looks, so you can apply it to a regular Hornet and it'll look like an F7A, but it won't get all the armor and all the hard points, or I don't know. I hope they do give it all the armor and hard points. I mean, those people who got them, it's kind of rare. I was able to get one in the aftermarket. I'm not going to go talk about that too much, but yeah, I was able to pick one up, and I hope I can alter a Hornet. I mean, I like my Hornets the way they are, but it'd be cool to have the military variant. One more look at the Valkyrie as we step out. There's one more ship I want to show you on the way out here. Thank you guys again for tuning in and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for contributing to the channel. If you want to do that, you can do that through the Patreon or YouTube members. I'll have that in the description of the video. If you're new to the game and want to get in the game, now's a great time. They've got some great starting packs on the Robert Space Industry site. You can use the link down below for my referral, and you'll get a bonus 5,000 credits when you do that. But $40 to get into the game, that's not bad at all. You don't have to buy one of these expensive ships. You can just buy an entry-level package, and you'll be in the game. And yeah, you can buy all these ships in-game too. You don't have to spend your hard-earned money on it, as we take a look at the Hawk, which is a great bounty hunting ship. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. Again, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out, helps me out on the algorithm. I know these videos have been long here lately, so thank you for watching the videos through. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you're liking these videos and you're getting something out of it. We're almost done with Fleet Week. We're getting near that point. You know, there's only a few more days left, a handful of days. So what do you guys think of Fleet Week so far? Are you enjoying it? How are you spending your time in game? What all are you doing? So thank you once again. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.